is true, folks. We are live on the periphery of GCOM. Thanks for being with us. We had quite a long intro. We're live outside of GCOM. A clean voters list is the call here. A clean voters list. We're outside today, folks. We're outside. The folks have come out to lift their voices. A clean voters list. Yep. Ain't nobody here saying we with them. We were the clean voters list.
You know what I found interesting, Sherrod? The comments by the British High Commission.
Well, I'm going to have Randy. Randy's telling me he found very interesting the comments of the British High Commissioner. I'm going to ask him about those comments shortly. I'm going to ask him about those comments shortly. About those very comments by the British High Commissioner on the voters list and the acceptability or otherwise of the voters list. Guys, give us an indication whether you are hearing us clearly. Give us an indication whether you're hearing us clearly. We'll be happy to know if you're hearing us clearly out there, folks. But good to have each and every one of you on the live. We're in front of GCOM. Good day, folks. You go ahead, do what you gotta do. Good. Let us know if you're hearing us clearly, guys. Let us know. Yes, the guys are saying loud and clear. I see Claire Capel says loud and clear. And we might have a smudge. We might have a smudge. Go right ahead. You know, I'm here with Randolph Critchlow. Randy says we have a smudge. Good to see you, Maxine Still and John Jones. Janice Booker is on as well. I see Gavin Liverpool is here too, guys. A clean voters list. That's the call. A clean voters list, guys. Share the live, smash that emoji button first. Y'all know how we do it. Y'all know how we do it. Again, apologies. We had quite an intro there. Just making sure the T's were dotted and the I's were crossed before we came on. Again, we're in front of GCOM on High Street here. High and Corn Streets. And you hear what the folks are saying. Rigging closet must go. Boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. If you can't be boots on the ground, at least share the live, folks. At least smash that emoji button for us. Good to have you folks join us. Wherever in the world you're joining us from today. We are on the apron of GCOM High Street. And you can hear the chants of the folks here for a clean voters list. Valid, credible information, folks. As you know, we have been asking for a clean voters list, that the list currently is unacceptable, that the list currently is a corrupt list, a lot of dead people on the list, folks. A lot of folks who are overseas and elsewhere. Thanks for joining our podcast today. Of course, a special broadcast that you and mine. Ensure you're kept in the know with all the things that are happening, folks. Can't get you all out there like some green dongs. Ensuring you folks are in the know. I know some of you in the diaspora can be on the ground. Share the live. Mona Moore and Gavin Liverpool. Claudine Lacroix Duqua. Good to have you. Claudine says clean list, yes. Suzette Washington, we see you there as well. And Gavin Liverpool, I see Norda Grant is here as well. Roxanne Andrews is here. Folks, we feel the love and the support. And those of you who can be on the ground, ensure you make you make plans to be on the ground here and express your concern. It's not enough to stay on Facebook, especially those of you who are home here in Guyana. It's not enough. We're going to have you, John Jones and Susan Jacobs. Joel Ward, we see you as well, and Kimberly Johnson. Going to have you, Sheena Hazel. Going to have Michaela Andrews Coates on. Again, apologies, we started a little bit late. Had a long interest, we were prepping to come on. And now these are images we're bringing you from in front of GCOM on High Street, where folks are asking for a clean voters list, a credible voters list, a list in which you can actually elicit the will of the people from, and that can be clear. That can be clear. Alright? That's what we're hoping. Folks, I'm privileged to have Randy with me. Y'all know Randy's a man who can unpack things. He's good at unpacking. Right? You should catch him on the weekends. Unpack. He unpacks. We're gonna take a swipe at the camera to make sure we clean, folks. To make sure we good to go. Right?
Good afternoon.
All right. Randy has some thoughts on over the weekend. We heard the British High Commissioner had some thoughts on the list, Randy.
Yeah.
You know, this list has been much in contention. Talk to us about that.
You know, I came directly from the press conference with the leader of the opposition, and what I found interesting were his response to it, which I thought was on point, as in the Guyanese people will decide on what happens with the list, because at the end of the day, it is in the interest of the Guyanese people to have a clean list. And he asked whether or not, if in England, if they had a list that represented close to 90% or over 90% of the population, would they find that credible to vote on? And I find her comments very strange. And the question that he asks is, what are these safeguards? What are these safeguards that you're saying the list can be used with? She didn't articulate these safeguards. And what he said was that, look, if the safeguards include biometrics, then we've taken a step in the right direction. But we can't be saying the same safeguards that got us in this problem, because those safeguards would have been wrong all the time, but it didn't stop the BP rigging. And so you can't just say, let's go back with the same list. And to make that pronouncement, I mean, people have to ask questions as to what's the rationale? Why is it that the British High Commission seems so vested in showing that this list is used? What other things do we not know? That's my issue. That's my question. And so that's why I found her comments very interesting.
Randy, also, I saw Vincent Alexander, Commissioner Vincent Alexander from GCOM, over the weekend, talked about GCOM not furnishing the High Commissioner with any information from their end. So when the British High Commissioner talks about the information that she has seen, I mean, I don't want you to get into her mind by any means, but what do you think she's talking about? Who supplied this information to her?
Well, that is a question. You know, those are questions that need to be answered. As whether or not the British High Commission is privy to some other list, because the list that is in the public domain is what we have all been debating about. Whether she sees that list and sees that, look, this can be used, is a question. But and you know, the thing is, and I go back to this. One, she didn't, as according to Vincent Alexander, GCOM has not furnished her with anything. Maybe GCOM has gone beyond the commissioners and decided to share some information that we don't know about. Outside of that, she needs to articulate to the people of Guyana what are these safeguards she is mentioning or commenting on. What are these safeguards? Because the safeguards that existed before, we cannot trust them. It has gotten us in a lot of problem. It has gotten us to the place where all of the observers have said the list is the bane of the contention, and it is in the best interest of Guyanese that we cleanse the list. So if we're not cleansing the list, we can't go back with the same old safeguards.
A lot to unpack there, Randy. A lot to go through. This is the bane of contention, not only for local government elections, but for the general and regional elections.
Yeah.
And we don't want to discount you that the PPP had complained about this list and talked about a registration process that should ensue. Suddenly, they're in there, and it's a different story now.
Exactly. This is the same PPP who were up in arms about the list. It's the same PPP who were talking about biometrics. It's the same PPP who complained about everything else. Now that when it suits them, now they have switched them out of the, in Guyanese parlance, they switch them out, and you're saying, look, they're trying everything possible. They're coming on the media to say to people, look, why does the AP and UAFC have a problem with the list? You had a problem with the list also. And so that is the hypocrisy that we're talking about. That is the blatant attempt to continue the status quo. We know what it is. We know that the list is being used to manipulate what happens at the polls. And that is what we're saying. And so if those safeguards include biometrics and all the other things that we have called for, then we're making some sense. Right? But I agree that this list is there are lots of contentions about elections and whether or not we should go to election. I know that you as the GS of the Alliance for Change have indicated your unwillingness to participate in elections with this list, right? And I respect that decision. But it is a rock and a hard place at this point in time. I don't know if we can have a conversation on that. What was the I'm going to interview on your own podcast. Now, what was the motivation behind that decision?
Well, again, for us a principal position that if the list is tainted, if the list is corrupted, then definitely we cannot trust that list in the upcoming elections. And we say, we are willing to go to the polls if we clean up the list.
Yeah.
If you put some other safeguards in place. I mean, we want to hear whether these other safeguards from across the pond.
Exactly.
Right? But again, this is a list that we cannot go with. Knowing what we saw coming out of the recount, all of the people who were dead and on the list and, overseas and on the list and voted.
Yeah.
Voted. Not only on the list, that seemingly cast a vote. Do we want to see that?
Yeah.
Again, I mean, I never heard about, elections, particularly local government level, but is that where we're going?
Yeah.
Is that where we're going now?
That seems to be.
Are we going to do this back all over again? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Right? So it has to be boots on the ground for now.
Definitely. And I understand that completely. Yeah, I understand that completely. And let me say, at the press conference just now, the leader of the opposition, as we're getting some background noise from the vehicle, let me say that the leader of the opposition will have expressed that the APNU intends to safeguard and represent their strongholds and not allow the PPP to take full control of all of those municipalities and NDCs. So there is a definite intention there, but he stopped short of saying what that will look like, and he did say that the AP and UFC will decide what that representation of the local government will look like when the time comes. But the intention is to ensure that they safeguard and represent their strongholds and their constituencies, because you know that the APNU AFC would have won the last local government election. Municipalities like Georgetown and Region 7 and Linden, Bartica and Linden, and a number of NDCs are also under the control of the APNU AFC. So again, expressing the idea that this is a ticklish situation. Of course, the call is for a clean voters list, but the leader of the opposition has indicated at least his intention to be pragmatic in this matter, and that is the issue. A certain level of pragmatism, because GCOM, the body of GCOM, is signaling its intentions to force a local government election on the people of Guyana with the same list. That is the key problem. They have signaled their intention to force local government election with the existing list. And so if that is the intention, I think what the leader of the opposition has said today in his press conference is that some level of pragmatism must be employed. And so he said that they intend to defend their strongholds and represent the constituents there. But what shape that will take is a different story. We still not to get back shared yet. He's coming. But we out here live and we're continuing the podcast below the belt outside of GCOM where the protest continues. Sherrod.
Yeah, folks, I want to get up a little bit closer to these folks, up close and personal, and see what's happening. We here, so get up a little close and personal. All right, folks, just shifting our vantage points a little bit here. Give it an angle there. Yeah, folks, this is what's happening outside of GCOM at the moment. The folks here are asking for a clean voters list.
What we want, a clean voters list. What we want, a clean voters list.
Again, good to see you folks who have joined us. Gwyneth Anderson and Beatrice, Central Main Adams and Roxy, Rosie, Rose, Jeff. Good to see you folks. Share the live for us. A lot of folks see the struggle here for a clean voters list, folks. Good to have you guys here.
What we want, a clean voters list. Who must go? Gladys Singh. Gladys Singh. Who must go? Gladys Singh. Who must go? Gladys Singh. Who must go? Gladys Singh. Swing and Claudette. Must go. Swing and Claudette. Must go. You swing and Claudette. Must go. Swing and Claudette. Must go. Swing and Claudette. Must go. Claudette swing. Must go. Must go.
Let's change my vantage point. So we're out of traffic and trying to bring you the happenings here, good folks. So there you have it. Folks who are out here, some of the placards read, Madam Chair, you know the list is bloated. Another placard says if you want free and fair elections, then clean the voters list. Another card says we need a clean voters list. Another card reads a bloated list is recipe for PUP rigging. Correct is right, folks. Correct is right. And that's on the front end, guys. A clean voters list is the heart of this demonstration here today. A clean voters list. Good folks, as you're there, share the live for us and smash that emoji button too. You hear the chants of the folks there. Yep, I'm gonna try to talk with some of the guys here. Rigging Claudette must go. Comes another chant there. Rigging Claudette must go. Yes. Folks, good afternoon. Again, those of you now joining us, we're in front of GCOM. And again, the chance for free and fair election
The lion cladded must go. The thief cladded.
Clean voters list for free and fair local government elections, general and regional elections as well.
Must go. Must go.
We're going to try to get some of the views of the folks who are here today.
Must go. Must go. Must go. Must go. Lion cladded must go. Lion cladded must go. Sleeping cladded must go. Sleeping cladded must go. Reagan cladded must go. Reagan cladded must go. Corrupt cladded must go.
Folks, we'll have you know that in front of Finance Ministry on Thursday, there's also a protest against the rising cost of living and the starvation wages. There's also a protest on Thursday in front of the Ministry of Finance. And Tuesdays, we're right out here in front of GCOM. Kuala Singh must go. We want a clean voters list. A credible voters list.
Corrupt cladded must go. Corrupt cladded must go. Corrupt cladded must go. Wicked cladded must go. Wicked cladded must go. Wicked cladded must go. Wicked cladded must go. Must go.
A clean voters list. Again, lots of placards out here. I see one that says, let me make sure I'm getting it right. Don't tell us piss. Clean the voters list. That's what it says. Don't tell us piss. Give us a clean voters list, says the chant. Guys, good to see you. Great to see you on the live. We encourage more of you to come out on the ground. I know those folks in the diaspora wish they were here to be boots on the ground, but those of you who are right home in Guyana, in the environs, East Coast, East Bank, and even further, folks come out to these protests. We encourage you every Tuesday, come and be supportive of the protests. I'm going to try to get a view for you folks of one of the guys who are here.
Rhonda. Rhonda. Rhonda.
Folks are going to try to get Rhonda's thoughts on what's happening here. Rhonda, why you stand right here? Let me see if we get you clear. Good. And I want you to tell us what's happening out here and what's up with this list, Rhonda.
Oh, this afternoon we are here again trying to protest for a clean voters list. Along with that, we need biometrics. Because without biometrics, we cannot get the true picture of who has voted and who cannot vote. Because once you are dead, you cannot vote. You're out of the country, you cannot be on the list. Because if you remember a few months ago, instead, President said he would have gone to the burial ground to do a live. I think that was to honor those dead voters. So we don't want him to go to the burial ground to honor nobody. So we need a clean voters list. All the dead come off, and we need biometrics. So those who are abroad cannot be numbered as persons who have voted and draw an election way off for. So that is what we are out here demanding, a clean voters list. And we're here for, it's going into 3 months now since we have started. We started at midday, then we went to afternoon, and now we are back to midday. And added to Kadaki and Sherrod little group that started, AFC and APNU have also joined in and giving support to this struggle that we are out here. So that is my take today.
Thanks so much, Rhonda. Thank you so much. Rhonda's always a boots on the ground here, folks. Always got her boots on the ground here. Always. Without fail.
Oh yes, and I want to second Sherrod in that. I am not boots on the ground on the computer or Facebook. My boots is on the ground because I'm live in front of GCOM, and come Thursday I will be live in front of Ministry of Finance, because there is where I'm going to lay claim to that money that has been promised. Remember, the people outside say Guyanese are living far below the poverty line. And I, being a pensioner, NIS pensioner, for the past years, NIS has not increased our pension. Now imagine, everything keep going up and NIS is stationary. Imagine $35,000 to pay the light bill, the phone, the internet and water, to buy gas. And now I have to take from that $35,000 to pay to the courts $500,000 because of my activism in things like protest and talking against the wicked and installed regime. So I will be there on Thursday to talk about more money, because I need more money as an NIS pensioner. Imagine Barra took the money to build a bridge. If this was a different country, we the workers and the pensioners could have taken NIS to court, because what NIS did with our money, that is called fraudulent conversion of people's money. And NIS should not have taken our money without consulting us and putting it in a bridge, and now they cannot pay us money. When you talk NIS never has money, nobody cares. We need our money. So I will be there on Thursday to talk.
Thanks very much, Rhonda, folks. One and only, the one and only Rhonda Lane there for you, advocating, like all of these folks out here, advocating a clean voters list and nothing else to do. Clean voters list. All right, let's try to change our vantage point a little bit.
I didn't remember the teacup
Folks are asking if the people know as they can win the election. Why you don't want a clean list? Maybe the corrupt list benefits the PPP. Maybe the corrupt list benefits the installed regime, and that is why they don't want a clean voters list. Perhaps that's the challenge we have now. They know the list is not clean. Yvonne Ramasar, Claudine LaRose Duqua, why wouldn't they want a clean voters list? Why wouldn't they want a sanitized list? Why wouldn't they want an up-to-date list? You got a list with more people than you got people in the country. Could that be a credible list? Could that be a valid list? Those are the questions the folks here want answers to. And the ambassador, Her Excellency Jane Miller, says that the list is good. What is she basing her assumptions on? You know, we'd love to get some of the information she got her hands on, you know, to arrive at this conclusion that the list is a good list with safeguards. And what safeguards will she recommend? What safeguards is she seeing that's in place? You know, we'd love to have that kind of information. Maybe we can make a better informed decision. So don't keep the information only at the diplomatic level. Allow the man in the street to know the voter list. I'd love to have Jane Miller in the ring to talk about the elections. I'd love to have Sarah Lynch in the ring to talk about this list and to have their point of view, to hear where they're getting their information from. I hope it's not a smattering of information, because, you know, the smattering is a lot of problems, right? Some folks have a smattering of SOPs and claiming a lot of things, a smattering, folks. Good to see so many of you on the live, Orin, Don, Cook, and Claudine, and Yvonne, Cecile, and Philomena, all of you folks who have joined us. We're so happy and privileged that you guys are here with us every Tuesday, folks. 12:30, we're out here for clean voters list, and on Thursday in front of the Ministry of Finance, and Tuesdays in front of GCOM, High and Corn Street, and then Main and Lamaha Street on Thursday as we protest the high cost of living in this country and a living wage, not minimum wage, a living. You can't live on the wage with high inflation and all those things. People want a living wage of. Make sure you're out here on Thursdays concerning that. Make sure your boots on the ground Thursday as well, folks. A living wage. Wicked Claudette comes to chant. Dirty Claudette. Thiefing Claudette must go. And the placards, Claudette sing, swing out of GCOM. Reads one placard. Claudette sing, swing out of GCOM. Comes one of the chants here. Beryl Crawford, good to see you in the live. Wherever you're joining us from, we encourage you to share the live, smash that emoji button, good folks. Good to have you folks. Again, we want to apologize. We were getting things set to come on live here, and hence the delay in the start. But we out here, folks. We out here. We outside. And it would be good to see those folks who are always online talking about boots on the ground bring their boots on the ground outside the GCOM.
Taking it back. Taking it back. Taking it back. Bishop, you can't remember me when I...
We need a clean voters list, says one placard. Only T's will not want a clean voters list, says another placard, folks. Some of the sentiments on the ground here. See the famous face. Good to see you, Gordon. Making his voice heard. Folks are coming, spending some time, getting back to work. You know how it is, folks. But good to have all these folks join us. Corrupt government read another placard. But a padded list is dangerous. It says one placard. Claudette in her office hiding from a clean list. Claudette no shable. Claudette no shable. Claudette in her office hiding from a clean voters list. Comes the chant, folks. Claudette in her office hiding. That's it, folks. Clean voters list. That is what folks are calling for. That is what folks are asking for. A clean voters list. Boots on the ground, folks. Folks here saying that Jobia kept Claudette welcome backfire. Jobia should welcome backfire. A clean voters list. A clean voters list is what the folks are asking for. Yvonne Ramasa, good to see you. And Lysis Bingo, great to see you as well. All the other folks joining us, good to have you. My sister, what are your thoughts when you finish? It's swinging with these chants here, folks. Swing out the GCOM Claudette. The chant is, we should not resist a clean voters list. They call for it. It's true. 2015, same people wanted the list, same folks. The same jagabats and chunch crapos They wanted the list. The same folks. Good, good, good.
How can I forget? Yes.
You good? All right, excellent. Excellent. Seeing all kinds of folks, old friends dropping by too, folks. The nature of a protest, you meet all kinds of people. Good to see you, Yvonne, and all the other guys who've joined us today on the live. Share the live for us. Smash that emoji button, and we're gonna wrap it up here, folks. Until we see you guys back this evening, we're gonna wrap it up here, leaving you with some of the scenes from outside of GCOM here. And we're gonna let the folks in studio sign off for us. Thanks for joining us, folks. We're gonna see you back at 8. And we're gonna bring the latest of the day's events, issues, and personalities in our program this evening at 8. See you guys at that end. Thanks to the folks in the studio. That's it.